Sugar, we're going down swinging.
All right.
Number one with a bullet.
Okay. So you guys don't know Casey yet. This is the peak off season. Really just a ton of things that we could talk about that may not really matter, but there was a debate. You want to give the genesis of this debate and how it came to be?
Yeah, Billy and I. So Billy's at my house right now. We've been doing a few apartment tours today. Really excited for him to finally move to Charlotte.
Yep.
Very excited to have him down the street. By the way, next door neighbor behind us, house for sale. If anyone in Charlotte wants great neighbors, we are here. But it all sparked last night, a couple nights ago, just having the conversation. Okay, if you didn't go to Virginia Tech, Ohio State, insert school that you love, where would you go?
Mm-hmm.
And based on what criteria?
Yeah.
And as Billy and I often do, we started spewing with no facts, all feelings, and it sparked a good conversation.
So quick background, obviously Casey Hamrick, baseball player in college, huge Ohio State fan, from Ohio, from Columbus, correct?
Born and raised in Columbus.
From Columbus. So what we're going to do is when we do the ACC and we do the Big Ten, we're just going to talk about how much we love our schools, but we're not going to draft it because that would be unfair.
Right.
So, again, criteria not very defined at all. Also, for the record, we are going by the old conferences. So how you remember the Big 12, how you remember the Big 10, how you remember the rest in peace Pac-12.
With a little bit of Big 12 mixed in, some UCF,
Sure.
Cincinnati, whatnot. But
sure.
It's pretty structured to the point where nothing's going to be crazy as far as how the conferences go with that.
Can you really quickly, and I know the criteria is subject to change based upon situations, but like what's really important to you?
Yeah, what's important to me is I want to make known this is not just football.
Right.
This is not just sports. This is the town. This is the weather. This is, if there's any other criteria that are important to you, we're going to assume that everyone on campus is good looking. We're just going to say that. It's really just about the whole college experience,
yes.
Not just football, even though football will play a factor. Basketball will play a factor.
Right.
Baseball might play. Ohio State's rowing team, awesome.
Location.
Right. Where would you like to have a good time in a big town, in a college town? So it's really, guys, there's no criteria.
Yes.
And so don't get mad at us if I say something incorrect. I'm going to say some incorrect things.
Yes.
These are probably not factual. If I say, hey, this town probably sucks and it doesn't, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Would love to come visit.
So want to kick it off with the old SEC?
Yeah. We can kick it off.
Who goes first?
We're going to snake this?
Yep.
Okay,
and you're going to keep track of it because I'm not good at that.
All right.
Ready? Yep. Rochambeau.
You're not doing shoot?
What is that?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay. You're up.
Okay. I got first pick. Now,
do you have a couple early thoughts on the conference in general? Because what I want to say.
So you have some early thoughts on the conference.
I had a couple early thoughts. As everyone who knows me knows, I hate this conference. Why Billy and I are great friends. I keep these people grounded on the southern aspect of, again, schools, football, what it might be. There were two for me, personal, early, two number ones for me. And there's about 4 schools in here that feel the exact same.
Okay. So I'm actually going to surprise you here.
Okay.
Probably a lot of people listening are thinking Billy Ray's going to pick Ole Miss, 100% first pick. I'm actually going to go out of the box here, and I'm going to go with Georgia. Georgia has incredible sports. Georgia is in an incredible college town in Athens. Really unbelievable run they've had in football. But even before the national championships, they were competing every single year for an SEC championship. I have been there. Basically, one of the reasons that this podcast even exists is because of that trip to Georgia versus Notre Dame back in 2019. So I'm going to go with Georgia.
Okay. I'm really excited about that pick for me personally because you're going to let me snake my top 2 picks.
Sure.
I'm going to take Florida and I'm going to take Tennessee.
Okay.
And those couldn't be more different on why I'm taking it. Florida would be my number 1 overall, I think, for the whole college experience. We've got relevance in football. We've got relevance in baseball. We've got relevance in basketball. Gainesville, I know it's hot, but you're in Florida. It's good weather.
Gainesville sucks.
I heard that. But I think overall, as a college experience, Florida couldn't go wrong. And Tennessee, I don't know, just has a vibe that I would like to be there in Knoxville. Football, of course, is relevant. Probably one of the more overrated programs every year, if I had to guess. But basketball is great. Tennessee, baseball is great. I'm going Florida, Tennessee off the board. Those are my 2 number ones, and you gave them to me, so I appreciate that.
Okay, so I go 2 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tennessee, I had them in my top tier. Tennessee, fantastic. Knoxville, fantastic town. Gainesville, I have no interest in going to Florida. If you want to talk about overrated, we're always talking about Florida. Their basketball team has been down recently. Their football team has been down.
So that's what we're doing. You're just
recently.
gonna hate all my picks?
No, I'm just
right.
giving you my reaction.
Making sure.
So if I get 2 picks here, this is pretty easy for me. I'm going to go with Ole Miss in Oxford. Fantastic college town. Mitchell family has history at Ole Miss. My father played there. And football team is on the up and up. Basketball team is taking a really, really far back seat in success and in priority since football is playing well now. And with my second pick, I'm going to go with Auburn. Auburn as a town is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Fun fact for you listening that are Virginia Tech fans, Auburn's campus was actually designed by the same architect that designed UVA's campus. Say what you want to say about UVA. UVA's campus is awesome. I will not be calling it the grounds, but I'm going to go with Auburn and Ole Miss there.
Okay. You took a pick off I kind of had them bracketed in 4 tiers, if I had to be honest with you. You took a school off my 2 and off my 3.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is I actually do have 2 schools remaining in my tier 2. And again, I think living in Charlotte, being in the Carolinas, I'm going to take South Carolina.
Okay.
Football team, not been great. Atmosphere, it looks great. Again, guys, I hate the SEC. Yes. I'm going to keep saying this, and I'm going to stand by it. So I would hate to go to any of these schools. Not really. It's a joke. I'm going to take South Carolina with my 3rd
Columbia,
pick.
dude. Columbia,
Sanford,
South Carolina. But you live in Columbia. Okay.
And then, this is where it got tough for me. So I told you before this. I had 4 schools on this list that just feel really similar to me.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss, and Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like, hey, great football programs. Would I like going to school in Baton Rouge? Would I like going to school in Tuscaloosa? So that being said, I'm going to take Alabama.
Okay.
I think that Alabama has had a good rise in basketball. I think that the atmosphere around campus seems to be pretty cool. Frats, I don't know. They seem like they have a good time. So I'm confident in of those 4. And even if you didn't take Auburn, I probably would have stuck with Alabama. So I'm fine with that.
So I'm left with a difficult decision here. I feel like out of necessity, I have to take LSU here. Bang for buck, you're getting them right about at the middle here. One of the best atmospheres in college football.
100%.
Yellow and purple are just an elite colorway.
Yeah.
Amazing food, access to New Orleans, access to a baseball team that's awesome, a football team that's awesome. Head coach, a little bit weird, obviously, but I think LSU has to be the pick there.
I'm fine with that.
Now, can I tell you the 2 that I'm struggling with here?
Yeah, please.
I'm struggling with Vanderbilt, and I'm struggling with Arkansas.
I have both of those in my remaining top. Those are my 2 top left.
So Vanderbilt, you get Nashville.
Yeah.
Most of your teams suck. Your baseball team rocks.
Right.
Your baseball team is fantastic.
Yeah. Academics are incredible.
Academics are
in
incredible.
that conference alone, hands down the best academic conference.
Hands down,
Or
if you want to chirp everybody
conference.
by saying, like, you can't add and we can do trigonometry, like, you can do that across the SEC. Arkansas, I think, is criminally underrated.
But also for no reason. You just hear Arkansas, like, yeah, I'd probably go there.
Yeah.
But, like, it's Arkansas.
100%.
Yeah.
Really good.
Great baseball.
I mean, they just got Calipari, who's going to be coaching their basketball team.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Good baseball team.
Yep.
Above average football team, usually. I mean, they had McFadden back in the day. They had Petrino. They're not going to
They're known
win
for
the
quarterbacks
SEC.
being there for 12 years.
Yes. So I'm going to go with Arkansas just because I have to have at least a semi-competent football team. I don't think I would be I lived through a 3 and however many games we lost, I think 3-9, 3-8, whatever our record was in 2022.
Yep.
I can't live through that every year. Like I can't do that.
Like some people might hear Arkansas and be like, "What? That's a crazy pick."
Right.
Like, I have no problems with that pick.
Well, here's the thing. This is what's left. Kentucky, which is in Lexington, Mississippi State, which is in Starkville, Missouri, which is in whoever knows where Missouri is, and then Texas A&M, which is in the middle of Texas. You have all these weird chants and stuff going on. So the list, it's pretty. It's
getting dry.
Slim pickings.
It's really just at this point. Is it me? Because at this point, is it me? Right? Because you snaked LSU and then you got LSU. So I'm getting Vanderbilt at that point.
Yep.
By the way, sorry for the pups in there. They see a squirrel that they're not going to get.
What are their names?
Archie and Barrett. Great random names chosen by my wife. I mean, who knew? I'm going to take Vanderbilt. Guys, it's strictly for the location and the academics.
Yep.
I need some help in the academic range. Because again, there's a few teams in every conference that you could say, yeah, your team sucks, but I went here academically. They know you're in it.
Yeah.
So I'll take Vanderbilt. And now we're officially down to my bottom 4. So we have, it's really slim pickings here, guys. I would never probably go to school in Mississippi. That's just me, guys. I've never been there. I don't know. It might rock. But, gosh, this is hard. Because I think I'll take Kentucky. Because, and here's why. I have no idea why. I mean, it's probably we're not too far from Columbus, so going home's easy.
Can I give you some cells you're not thinking about? Their colors rock. Like the race car stuff.
Guys, Billy's obsessed with he go to school because these colors rock. That's crazy. I mean, they could be pink, but if Tech won national titles and were pink, would you love it? Probably. I mean, and by the way, their colors rock. It's blue and white.
Kentucky blue. Pretty cool.
It's just like a standard blue. Okay, I'm taking Kentucky. And that wasn't easy. I mean, like, is there going to be a sneaky last pick that people are like, wow?
Can I say something that's underrated? I was thinking about this the other day, and this might be Sons of Saturday After Dark. Do you know how insufferable I would be if I went to South Carolina? I'd say go Cox all the time. Nonstop.
This is a PG-13
Nonstop.
podcast.
That's literally their call phrase. Like, that's not me making something up. That's literally it.
What's Tech's call phrase?
What's their call phrase? Go Hokies, go Hokies.
Okay. I'm actually wondering.
Gobble gobble. We don't really. I mean, go.
This
Cox.
has got to stop.
Yard Cox is what they call their baseball team.
Yard cock.
Yeah.
Moving on. You have 2 picks, and then I get the last. I get whatever you want me to have. I'm getting. Because there's 3 remaining.
I'm taking Mississippi State because I have a lot of respect for being in a college town. Their football team. I mean, look, Mississippi State was the number 1 team in the nation in football.
Is this gonna be terrible for
years ago?
Illinois?
No, it's fine. They can go.
I'm sorry
for it. I'm gonna go with Mississippi State because I respect the college town. Still wear maroon.
Good
which I
baseball.
like.
Great baseball.
Great baseball, and also sneaky underrated. Ole Miss and Mississippi State are a huge part of Thanksgiving weekend.
You know what you get at Mississippi State too? You get a fact that no one else can say.
What is that?
The first ever CFP rankings that came out.
They're
Mississippi
number 1.
State number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott undefeated.
Didn't they finish the season like 8-4?
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
But like number 1 rankings of all time, which by the way, Ohio State won that year. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. They
You
won
guys
that
also
season.
lost to us that year.
And I would take a Tech L every year. Let's cheers to that. Tech win, Ohio State win. We're in cahoots. You can have Mississippi State. You get 1 of 2 schools left, and it's kind of would you believe these are the
This is
last
hard.
2 left?
Missouri and Texas A&M.
I know which one I don't want.
Missouri football did beat Ohio State this past year.
Yeah, we had an 18-year-old playing quarterback for the first time.
I'm just giving you the data.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Texas A&M, and here's why. You're not in Missouri. And honestly, if you can embrace people making fun of you for the whole dance thing, like there's a part of me that would almost like enjoy giving it back to people. Because everyone's like, oh, you're corny. And it's like, well, thumbs up, dude. Like you got a couple things going on. Their basketball team's always above average. Football team, I think eventually will be good. They have a ton of money. Like I really don't understand how they're in their situation. Would you say Texas A&M is the Miami of the SEC? Whoa! Whoa!
No, I didn't think if that comp was coming.
No. What a comp.
No, but Miami has national titles to back it up. Like,
Has Texas A&M never won a national title?
I mean, not in our lifetime, right?
Maybe
I
in
mean,
World War II.
Miami, like when we were babies, were dominating. I mean,
Mhm.
they were dominating with nasty teams.
I'm just saying the hype coming into each season, underperforming, like a little similar.
Yeah, if I had some time to think about it, maybe I'd change. But like, yes, I would say.
Okay.
That's true. So that gives me Missouri.
Yeah. Last pick off the board.
I have nothing great to say, but I'm always telling you, I could have a good time in any Midwest town.
Cool colors, black and gold.
Any Midwest town, I could have a good time. I'd be fine in Missouri. So that wraps up the SEC.
So, any last thoughts on the SEC?
I hate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Gonna miss the SEC on CBS intro.
yeah, welcome to the Big Ten, baby.
So we are moving on to the it's not the traditional Big 12 because we're including the additions from
It's basically like
year.
the last couple years Big 12.
yes, and the reason that we had to do that was we're keeping the Pac-12 alive. So if we added Utah, it just created a little bit of a. I'm glad you pointed that out before we hit record.
So you got first pick, so I get
Yeah.
first pick.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Again, in the Big 12, 2 standouts for me
Mhm.
above all else. We discussed this the other night.
Now Texas and Oklahoma are in here.
I know. and one of those is in my standouts.
Okay.
Not both. I'm going with the one probably people wouldn't think. I'm taking Kansas. I'm taking Kansas. I think that the basketball heritage alone carries that program. I think that town looks fun. I've known people that went there. They have a good time. And, guys, the football team's on the up and up.
So
it's getting investment. It's getting looked at. I think it's actually a great play at this point to go there.
So when we did this exercise last night without Texas and Oklahoma in the conference, we both said, there's one brand in the Big 12 that has national cachet, and it's Kansas.
Like when you traditionally think Big 12, that's an immediate logo that comes to your mind.
Yes.
Along with Texas, along with Oklahoma, but those might be the top three.
So I don't hate that pick. I really don't. I think that is in my tier 1. Yeah. So I get 2 picks here. My first pick is going to be Texas. Yeah. Austin, Texas is absolutely fantastic. Again, I'm not going to give them the Miami treatment. I'm not going to give them the Texas A&M treatment.
That's a good comp, though, because
it's a similar comp.
It's not a college town.
No.
Austin, Texas is no longer a college at all.
But it has pockets.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
It has pockets. Like Coral Gables is not like, here are like 6 streets in the middle of Miami that are Miami streets. Like you got the whole college vibe that goes on in Austin. So I'm going to go ahead with that. And then with my second pick, this is tough. I'm going to go with Oklahoma State.
Yeah, we talked about that one hard. So, and by the way, Billy, the colors are awesome.
The colors are awesome. The logo is awesome. You're kind of playing that like second fiddle to Oklahoma, but still beating Oklahoma on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
So I'm going to go with Oklahoma State.
Okay, I like that. And that was my next pick. Okay. But you've left me with interesting, because I'm looking at my notes here. And I have here 2 teams that feel the same.
Okay.
But maybe they don't to everybody else. A school that I think would be fun to go to with somewhat relevant sport. I'm taking Texas Tech.
Very similar vibes to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, like you're there, you're in the discussion. You beat Texas every now and then, and basketball team is incredible. Mm-hmm. Lubbock, I mean, I don't know. I have a good friend that went to Texas Tech. Shout out James Spark, and I think that it'd be fun. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take Texas Tech, and then I'm gonna follow up with another school that I think feels very similar.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
And that is Iowa State.
Yeah,
I'm taking Iowa State. Look, I'm a Midwest guy. I think I could have a good time in any Midwest town. I just like the vibe all around Iowa State. I'm going to take it.
Can we take the town out of it? Iowa State has to have one of the healthiest athletic departments in the country.
Yeah, it's solid.
Their basketball team makes the tournament essentially every single year. You'll have a year where they're a 4 seed, where they're a 3 seed. Their football team wins between 8 and 10, 11 games. Dude, I mean, they'll sneak into an 11-win season every once in a while.
Cyclones? Who else can say it's Cyclones? No one.
No one.
I mean,
no one.
That's what I'm taking.
Like that pick a lot. So I'm going to go with TCU. Again, opportunity to punch up against some of the other Texas schools. Solid athletic department, good football program, good basketball program. This second pick is tough because I am eyeing up Houston, who has a great basketball program, who has a fun football program. 4th biggest city in the country. I'm looking at West Virginia. Everybody's going to yell at me doing it, but I think it would be malpractice to not take Oklahoma here.
Yeah, I was saying if Oklahoma, I was about to say, if this podcast got national coverage, which we all know it does, right? Like that program would be upset if this draft, if Oklahoma wasn't taken. So
I'll go with Oklahoma.
I wouldn't have. I probably would have passed on again.
I would have too, but I felt out of respect for the brand, I had to take it.
So you're leaving me, my boys in Morgantown.
Yep.
I'm going to take them.
Can you give them the context?
Sure. Both my parents are from West Virginia, born and raised Mountaineer fans. They ended up going to Marshall. So we have respect for Marshall, West Virginia. Morgantown, if you've been,
it rocks.
All of you would love to go.
Morgantown rocks.
And they
have been
VT, awesome. WVU should be playing every year.
No question.
Every year that should be happening. Morgantown's a great place to watch a game. I'm going to take WVU. I've got 2 schools in my tier 3.
I got one I really want.
I'm going to go here. I'm going to go UCF.
Yes.
I'm going to take UCF. I love Florida. I think Florida's an awesome state. It's great. If you're going to school there, you've got access to a lot of good things.
Isn't it in Orlando?
Yeah. Well, it's Central State. You can go to Tampa. You can go to Miami. You can
Orlando is kind of brutal.
Well, okay. You can feel that way. You didn't take it. That's fine. I'm taking UCF. Awesome colors.
Okay. I have been to this college town. I have Dalton Reisner went here playing for the Vikings now. I'm going to go with Kansas State. Manhattan, Kansas rocks. I've spent multiple nights there. Really, really cool college town. I'm going to go with Kansas State here. Again, another program that if you just say Kansas State, you're not thinking, okay, like solid athletics. They're in the tournament, I would say, every other year.
I've taken them to the Final Four a couple times in my bracket. They always lose, but I've taken them.
They've been to the conference championship in football, I feel like multiple times
Did
in
they
the last
beat
5 or 8
Alabama in
years.
that bowl game, or did they lose? They were up, if not.
I feel like they either
Sugar Bowl?
lost by 10 or something like that.
Good,
but
good game.
So I'm going to go with Kansas State. I'm going to take them there. Oh, man. So Baylor, BYU, Cincinnati, and Houston are left.
You've already referenced one that you were going to take. You don't want them?
Just based upon some of the, let's say, school culture at one of them. If we're talking location and we're talking about athletics, I'm going to take BYU here.
Fine with me.
I'm going to take – no, I'm not taking BYU. I'm saying if we're just talking about that, but I can't see myself being a student at BYU. I can't.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if I'd be accepted.
It's a very tight-knit culture.
Yes. All due respect.
Yeah.
So I am going to take Baylor here.
You almost said Houston.
I did.
I'm going to take
I'm going to take Baylor.
Baylor.
I'm going to take Baylor.
Okay.
Baylor has great basketball, good football in Texas. Going to take Baylor.
So what you don't understand is that you're still getting BYU.
Yeah, I'm still going to take BYU.
So I'm going to take Cincinnati. Look, I'm from Ohio. Huge Cincinnati Reds fan. Love that town. It's pretty similar to Columbus and Charlotte in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Believe to the date, I mean, I guess they're Power 5 now, but they've been to the playoff. And then I'll take Houston.
Okay.
Which, honestly, I didn't want. I didn't want Houston or BYU.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to BYU.
I think, and this may be a hot take here, this might be the most fun conference. So we were kicking it around and we were saying, man, like pound for pound is the ACC like the most awesome college town conference. And of course, you said, hey, Big Ten, like that's an awesome conference. But I think we both agree the Pac-12 offered so much.
Look,
like so much.
For me personally, growing up an Ohio State fan, the Rose Bowl, insane environment.
Yep.
USC, Washington, Oregon. It is. I'm actually happy because we're going to get some of those schools in our conference now. But it's just a fun Pac-12 after dark. It's just fun. So I'm cool with this. You're up You're up.
I'm up.
You're up for one.
So traditionally, I know I've talked a lot about how college towns matter to me. And I'm actually going to skip out on this pick. So my number one pick is I'm going to go with Oregon. Oregon will have the absolute best stuff at the bookstore. 100%. You're always going to be decked out. You're basically synonymous with Nike.
Sure.
Team's always going to look good. Great basketball program. Great football program that has not pushed through and won a title yet. I'm sure they're good at gymnastics and some of these other sports.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And again, that's what we don't know.
solid.
Sometimes we don't know what those supplementary sports are like.
So Oregon's going to be my number one pick.
Let's say pick. Goes to me.
That's right.
Because we're snaking. Did you see that? You tried to sneak one in. So, guys, I'm all over the board with the Pac-12. I think everyone will be like, yeah, USC, Oregon, Washington. Guys, I got a crazy number one. I need an academic school in every draft. I didn't get one last draft.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Stanford, if you go to Stanford, in my opinion, I could be wrong, you didn't go to the Ivy League in a cool way.
Right.
Someone's like, where'd you go? I went to Stanford. They know automatically the academics are there, but they've had some good years in football. They're relevant in the national conversation.
Nobody's going to say if you went to Stanford, you're a nerd.
Right.
Nobody's looking at you the same way that they look at somebody that went to Duke, somebody that went to Boston College, somebody that went to Dartmouth.
Northwestern.
Nobody's looking at you like that. So I really like that pick.
I'm taking that one. And then, dude, I've got an off-the-walls one for number two. And I have zero criteria for this one. I'm taking Washington State.
So
I'm taking Washington State as my number two pick over Washington. I don't know why.
Awesome fans. fantastic fan base. We have been compared, I would say not very often. People will take this the wrong way, but Virginia Tech fans, essentially when this conference realignment stuff happens, a lot of people will say, hey, fan bases don't matter as much because an awesome fan base, Washington State, got left out of the Power 5 conference situation. So I think it's really unique. You're kind of up there in the middle of nowhere. The Apple Cup is awesome.
It feels like, and I could be totally wrong. Is that stadium like kind of like in the woods?
Yeah.
Like
I feel like Washington State's just out in the middle of nowhere.
Like that episode of Blue Mountain State where they build the field in the middle, and you just arrive. That's what it feels like. I'm rocking with Washington State.
Impossible to not take Arizona State right now. Impossible to not take Arizona State right now. You are literally hanging out in Scottsdale, hanging out in Arizona, hanging out in Phoenix. You go to Sedona, you can go to San Diego, you can go wherever you want. Destination school. Are the sports awesome? No.
You know I love Scottsdale. It's my favorite city in the country.
Are the sports awesome? No.
Boondocks,
are they horrible? No.
Boondocks, best bar in the country, my opinion.
Had a great time.
Awesome.
So I'm going to go with Arizona State there.
Yeah.
My second pick, I'm going to have to go with Washington. Okay. Washington, really, really solid. Multiple appearances in the college football playoff, college football final last year.
Tell me this right now, off the top of your head. Since you've been alive, better football program, Virginia Tech, Washington.
So we had this debate. And it is extremely close. I have to be honest, we had this debate last year at the beginning of the football season, and I said it was a toss-up. Having that Washington has been in the college football playoff twice, it's very difficult to argue against it. Now, Tech fans will say, hey, over the last 20 years, Washington had multiple years where they didn't make a bowl game. Like they won 3 games, they won 2 games. I think they have a season where they won 1 game in an entire football season.
I think it comes down like, would you rather be Oklahoma or would you rather be Florida?
Exactly. Would you rather your boom be like amazing with some bust years in there, or would you rather be steady Eddie, solid, competing every single year?
Yeah.
So
it's close. It's close.
I think it's razor thin, the differences here. Please put in the comments if you think what you think is a better overall football program over the last over your lifetime, over the last 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean Washington.
Okay.
Hello, Barry.
Sorry, we've got a dog here, guys. We're gonna just shove him. Just shove him. I got excited that you took Arizona State because I wanted Arizona.
So here's the thing. I've been to Tucson. I've driven through it.
Yeah.
Brutal.
But you're saying the campus life itself is brutal?
No, the town is brutal.
Okay, well, you're saying the town, like the college aspect town?
I drove through it. It looked like Hackensack, New Jersey. I said that when I was driving through it.
Maybe.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, basketball team should be winning titles every year.
Yep.
They don't, but still, it's very relevant. To your point, Arizona State sports, a little brutal. I'm going to take that. Okay. I'm going to take UCLA. And here's why I said it that way. Because I would not want to go to school in Los Angeles, California. If I'm going to school in Los Angeles, California, I don't want to go to USC. I think UCLA has a bit more street cred than you did. And I don't know why that is. Like, I think it's like, oh, USC, you went to USC. Oh, UCLA, that's cool. Like, you went to UCLA. Mm-hmm. Baseball team's always been good.
Basketball team rocks.
Basketball team, I mean,
probably one of the best basketball teams in the history of the sport.
Yeah. UCLA had a great head coach who decided to become an assistant coach at Ohio State. I'm taking UCLA. Again, it's
Russell Westbrook, Kevin Love, like a lot of
John
history.
John Wooden invented. I mean,
we were all thinking of John Wooden.
I would rather go there than USC, and that's kind of why I took it there.
So I have negative interest in going to college in the city of Los Angeles. 0. This may be viewed as a little bit out of the box, but I am going to go with, I love spending time outside. I love getting in touch with nature, spending time around. And what's really interesting is when we got to the other conferences, like when we got to the bottom of the barrel, you're like, these options suck. These options are still awesome.
I had only one school in this conference that I was an immediate no.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Only one.
It's a extremely well-rounded out conference.
Yeah.
With my next pick, I'm going to go with Utah. Utah has probably one of my favorite guilty pleasure college football watches. Like, I like Ole Miss. I like Virginia Tech. But Utah, they're always extremely tough, blue collar.
I mean, look,
punching above their
if
weight.
this was still an active conference, they have the best upside in football.
Without a doubt.
I mean, they're going to probably win the Big 12.
No doubt about it.
So that's a good pick.
So I'm going to go with Utah here. So that leaves me with Colorado, USC, Cal, and Oregon State. I'm going to go with Oregon State. I think Oregon State has a very cool fan culture. I think Oregon State, again, I know this drives you nuts. Uniforms, logo, colors,
I'm just saying,
awesome.
you make your college decision on like what color is the team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And again, what I think is really cool and I think is a little bit underrated is everybody says, oh, that football doesn't matter in the Pac-12. Okay, tell that to the Civil War and tell that to the Apple Cup. Those are two fantastic rivalries that I think just get glossed over because USC has been nobody, Cal has been nobody, UCLA has been nobody, and everybody blames these Washington and these Oregon schools. There's been great football played in the upper Western continent.
Arguably it's been regular season some of the best watches.
Without a doubt.
But can you update me? I'm a little unaware.
Sure.
What is happening with Washington State, Oregon State? Is that
no idea?
Like, are they eligible for the college football playoff? Like, is there a schedule?
No idea. So I haven't heard anything. Like, obviously, they're not going to get an automatic bid, the Pac-12, the Pac-2. But I don't know how it's shaken out yet. We'll update that on the next part. I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea.
Hey! Sorry, guys. I mean, guys, they're like 0 for 480 on squirrels. They caught 0. But that's an interesting point. I don't know what's happening.
You're left with Cal, USC, and Colorado.
My next 2 picks.
I'd be juiced about taking one of these schools.
Yeah, so I'm taking these next 2 schools only because I don't want the one I'm not taking.
Okay. I'm interested to see if it's a school.
I'm taking USC, and I'm taking primetime. Taking Colorado.
Okay.
I don't want Cal. I have 0 interest in Cal. Like, it's almost it's a really smart school, but it's almost Stanford. It's almost somebody else. Like, it's kind of like identity's kind of a loose identity.
Nobody wants Cal.
But they're in the ACC.
Nobody wants Cal.
ACC one of them.
You're the Golden Bears. I really wanted Colorado there. Colorado, party school, prime time. Even before they got Deion Sanders, it would be somewhere that I would take.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and just be bummed and have Cal. I know they're in the ACC now. Jaylen Brown is literally the only person from Cal that I can think
That'd
of.
That'd be a fun road trip for Tech. I mean, going out to California, right?
Would that be cool? They're going to Stanford this year.
Yeah. It's in Northern California.
It's in Berkeley.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So. Virginia Tech's school president actually went to Cal, I think. Or he was working for Cal. I'm not really
that's
sure.
a fun conference. We're going to miss that.
Can we pour one out for the Big Ten?
Yeah.
For the Pac-12, please?
Whoa.
For the Pac-12. Just pour one out for the
Can we just drink it
Pac-12?
instead? This is my back patio. I mean, like, that's going to be there forever now.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, let's just take a drink for him instead. But, I mean, I'm sorry.
Seriously, great conference.
It is. And the Big Ten got the better juice. Dude.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I know.
It's tough.
Do you want to do your requiem for the Big Ten? Just talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, right? Because, like, unfortunately,
you have to love cities.
You're saying, like, as a conference as a whole?
Yeah. I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm just saying you have to love city. It's very similar to the Pac-12 in the standpoint of they have some big brands that are located in big towns.
Look, big brands, the alumni bases at these schools are giant.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, it's a giant alumni base with really well connected. They're in bigger cities too. I mean, they've got New York and DC before the addition of LA.
Wow, look.
New York.
Just to give you, that's what the Big Ten dreamed of when they brought in Maryland and they brought in Rutgers.
Yeah,
for a moment, just like that.
The only reason they brought them in was for the New York City TV market and for the DC TV market. Mm-hmm. Now you have the LA market. Look, guys, you can tell me the SEC is better. They're more top heavy than the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. What I've always tried to explain is Georgia winning 2 national championships, in my opinion, does not make Arkansas better. Like, people want to say pound for pound NFL talent. The NFL is flooded with Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State.
Yeah.
And they can no longer say, hey, who's won the most recent titles? Michigan just won the title.
Can we agree on this, though? Both conferences, both of them, before the new restructuring, both conferences have a really high ceiling and have a very low floor.
I always want to try to get people to understand, I never sat here to argue that the Big Ten is better by leaps and bounds in the SEC.
But the gap is
not nearly as close.
Yes.
I'm like, let's roll Indiana out against like Mississippi State on any year. Like it's a coin flip game.
Right.
But people act like it's like, oh, well, Mississippi State would stomp them.
Yeah,
because it's the SEC.
Purdue play Arkansas, like something like that. Yeah,
So
I agree.
again, it's never going to end. And now the conferences are kind of jacked.
Yeah.
But let's roll to the Big Ten.
By the way, so neither of us are going to pick Ohio State. Do you want to say any words about Ohio State? Just because they're not on there because affinity.
Look, the only thing I'll say about a school, and again, we kind of got carried away with football there. Look, I'm born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. I think minus Chicago, it's the best city in the Midwest. It's a college town and a big city at the same time. Football, basketball, wrestling, rowing. There's a lot of relevancy at Ohio
Rowing?
State.
Come on.
Dude, if Tech won a rowing national title, this would be all about one pod. We're going to talk about Justin Sanderson, who was the lead rower today for Tech. If you win it, it's exciting. I'm just saying it's going to roll.
That's true.
That's all I'll say. And all I'll say is this year, people can laugh at me if they want to. It is actually the most anticipated season in Columbus, Ohio of all time. The expectations an undefeated season with a title. And Tech fans might laugh at that. I don't know. I'm just saying we haven't had a season with this much talent and this much expectation and this much, hey, Ryan Day kind of has to get it done. Yeah. I'm a big Ryan Day supporter. He has to get it done.
I agree. I think, and I've said this before, I think the Ryan Day, I don't want to say criticism because you're going to get criticism if you lose to Michigan multiple years in a row.
Yeah.
The way I don't understand minus winning one game in a year. I don't know what else you would. It's not like he's failing in multiple areas.
And I hate when this, I don't want to make this all about Ohio State as the greatest program of all time, right?
But we got an Ohio State guy here, and we're about to talk about the Big Ten.
Michigan-Ohio State rivalry it's not close to Alabama-Auburn. It's not close to Duke-UNC. It is leaps and bounds in college athletics, the number one rivalry. We're in Columbus, Ohio. We have this old regime and the new regime. I'm kind of in the new regime where I want titles over everything. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people in Columbus, Ohio that would say, I'll lose every game but beat Michigan and go to sleep okay at night.
Yep.
It's really that important. So the Ryan Day thing, he can't lose 4 to Michigan. Yep. But he took over this program when we were like 17 of 20 against Michigan. Mm-hmm. You can't like continue to do that against any school.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll say.
Now, it's very interesting because Tech, again, I'm not comparing the two rivalries, but there is a segmentation of the Tech fan base that is like, if our team is mediocre, if we go 6-6 but beat UVA, they're like, hell yeah, good job.
Right.
That's not going to work for me.
No. I want titles.
And then there's another section of the fan base that is like, why are we okay with being apathetic if we just like UVA should not be the measuring stick? Now, what I'm jealous of with a rivalry like that is there are two programs who are nationally relevant that push one another. We haven't existed in that position. We have existed in a position where our rival is, it's not even a chirp, is one of the worst football programs.
Yeah, you guys have to
in the
search
country.
for other football rivals.
Yes.
Like, we kind of have a rival with Miami.
Or North Carolina,
right,
or
like,
Tennessee, or West Virginia. Like, the fact that we don't have an in-state rival in football that pushes the program to be better, I think hurts our program. And that's when I say I wish UVA was more competitive, that's the spirit I'm talking about it in. Is if you don't have somebody that's pushing you, if you're training to be a really good basketball player and you're playing against your brother and your brother sucks at basketball,
right,
you will be a worse basketball player.
Right. So you go on the street and play against someone who's, the
awesome
talent. Yeah.
Tyler Hansbrough.
So I'm excited for the season, guys. Like, I'll be annoying all year long.
Yeah.
The roster's loaded. We should be hoisting a title. I mean, it's just the way it is. But
your first pick, right?
Let's get into it. It's tough. Who was first pick?
Yeah.
But who is it? Me or you?
It's you. I'll give it to you. It's your conference.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna want the ACC.
Yeah, you picked Oregon first last time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, my dogs are killing us. I'm sorry. It is gonna be. I think in the Big Ten, there's 4 standouts no matter what, including Ohio State.
Yep.
So there's 3 I can pick from. I'm not gonna pick Michigan. What are we talking about, guys? They're in the top tier. I'm taking Penn State and I'm taking Wisconsin. So
you're taking 2 schools?
Can't do that. Yeah. You almost said the last time. Well, then in that case, I'm going to take Penn State.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Penn State, and here's why. I'm part of a cult. You're part of a cult. Penn State is one of the biggest cults in the nation.
Yeah.
That has a little bit of credibility in more towards the 90s. Mm-hmm. It's almost like an elevated Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Like they have a little bit of room to talk. They've won some. They're flooding the NFL. Happy Valley. I would love to go to a game there. I want to go to a whiteout.
I've never been.
I know. I have not been. The problem, sidebar, Fox noon kickoff has killed the whiteout because this year, like, it's going to be like, I think, Illinois, because Ohio State's going to be at noon. So I'd love to go to
the Big
White
Ten
House.
schedule is so weak.
But it's a college where you can get up every single day. I've always told
I love how you talked over that.
What'd you say?
I said, yeah, there's no other opportunity for them to have a nice whiteout because the Big Ten schedule is so weak.
Anyways, I'll take that. I'll take Penn State.
Okay. So I had a thought when you said that, and then I immediately realized how stupid the thought was.
Okay.
I was about to retort to your thought by saying, basically, Penn State is USC. It's a school that's overpopular, but then I realized USC has no fan base. Like, it's not selling out the stadium. It's not an incredible environment. My opinion on that is, like, Penn State is almost so mainstream that it's over the top, and the results are not there for a mainstream school the way that they should be. So with my first pick, I'm not going to take Wisconsin away from you because I know how you feel about it.
Why? You can take it. Do you not want it?
So no, because I'm going to take these two picks. Okay. I'm going to take Nebraska #1 because Nebraska has an awesome fan base. I have been to Lincoln. Lincoln is absolutely fantastic. And then for #2, I'm going to go with Iowa. Iowa has an awesome fan base. They have a good basketball program. They have a good football program. They compete for conference championships every single year. If they win them or not really up for debate. So I'm going to go with Iowa, and I'm going to go to Nebraska. If I could have it back, I may have taken Michigan.
Dude,
over
I'm like,
Nebraska.
are you leaving me Wisconsin? Are you leaving me Wisconsin, Michigan?
And Michigan? Yeah, that's going to be your pick. I will say in those two picks, I would have taken Iowa. I like Iowa.
No, Iowa was next on my list.
Yeah.
So in order, I want to make this very clear. I'm taking Wisconsin before Michigan.
Okay.
But then I'm taking Michigan.
Okay.
I have to take Michigan. Guys, Ann Arbor is a great town. Much as I hate it, they have the history. They have the most recent national title. You know, call me crazy in the comments, whatever. I'm not sitting here willing to say they currently own us because we've won so much against them in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Where if we win this year, it's like, cool.
Yeah.
17-21. I mean, like, so I'm taking those two schools. And Michigan, by the way, Michigan and Wisconsin, incredible academics. Very good academics. I can never get in there. It's a great school.
I can't emphasize how easy this decision is.
Okay.
I feel like if 90% of America looks at this list, they think the list sucks. This is very easy for me.
There's only one school that I would actually say if you took him saying that, I'd say you're crazy. So
I'm going to go with Indiana because Bloomington rocks.
Does.
Bloomington rocks.
Great college town. Definition of college town.
Great college town. Great people, good basketball culture. They're a little down right now. Coach Woodson, I hope he gets him right because that college football is better when Virginia Tech is better. College basketball is better when Indiana is better.
For sure.
Like 100%. And with my next pick, I'm going with Northwestern. Northwestern is in Chicago. Northwestern has overachieved a lot in some of their sports.
And it gives you good credibility.
You're a smart guy. You kind of get that. We said this yesterday. You get that Ivy cred without being in the Ivy League.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with Northwestern.
Can I ask you a question about your first pick?
Please do.
In a positive way. This is a positive question.
Yes.
We're talking about comps.
Yeah.
Is Nebraska the VT of the Big Ten?
Yes.
Like that's
I completely agree.
Crazy fan base, great
crazy
atmosphere,
fan base,
has
great
some credibility in the 90s.
And I almost feel like when big publications talk about us right now, I'm hoping that changes. I think both programs have a lot of things to look forward to.
Yeah.
Nebraska has a great coach who's proven it at the college football level before.
Had the #1 prospect coming. He went to Ohio State, then went to Georgia, now he's in Nebraska.
What sucks is for the last, I want to say 5 or 6 seasons, when these teams are talked about on ESPN, it's almost like the Sarah McLachlan Eyes of an Angel commercial. Like literally, like they will get on there and they will be like, I want them to be bad, to be good so bad.
Yeah.
And it's just not happening.
Right.
And it makes me depressed that these teams are not good. Like that is how national pundits talk about Nebraska and Virginia Tech over the last 5-6 years.
Also,
so I completely agree.
Also earlier comp that I didn't mention, USC and Miami comp.
Completely agree.
Okay.
Texas A&M is on that level too.
So I am taking this school for the same reason you took Indiana.
Okay.
I'm taking Illinois.
Okay. Great pick.
It's Champaign, great college town, pretty decent basketball program. They've had some #1 seeds, #2 seeds, not as good as Indiana. Juice Williams, one of my favorite
legend, dude.
One of my favorite college football players.
Actually, I'm surprised you can say that.
Well, dude, he owned us that night. That evening in Ohio State, I was at that game. By the way, side note, I've been to every single big Ohio State loss since 2000.
Were you at the Purdue game?
My bachelor party. My bachelor party. We went to West Lafayette. Let's go to Purdue. We'll smash them. We'll go to the bars afterwards. I went home. Didn't drink that night.
What is the what do you always say about Urban Meyer? He's good for one. What the hell is
so
this
Urban Meyer obviously has a national title. He would win the big game, but he was good for one game he should have pounded every year. Michigan State twice, Iowa, Purdue. We'll move on.
So just for the record, Michigan State, Maryland, Rutgers, Minnesota, Purdue. So we have left.
Say it again.
Michigan State, Maryland, Rutgers, Minnesota, Purdue.
Yeah, Michigan State. Michigan State almost gets in to that top 4 crop. They've knocked on the door a couple times. They've been to the college football playoff, got destroyed. They've ruined Ohio State season a couple times. Nick Saban, Tom Izzo, basketball program's electric. I mean, they overachieve kind of recently every year.
He has trouble with the snap.
Yeah, I mean, that was an awesome one. Michigan State.
Okay. Did you take 2? You took Illinois and Michigan State? Okay. Guys, this sucks. I am left with Purdue, Minnesota, Rutgers, and Maryland.
You're taking who I know you're taking.
I'm taking Minnesota.
Wasn't it?
Because we're going to row the boat. And to be honest, you're kind of up there away from everybody else.
It's a great area.
Huh?
It's a good area. I mean,
I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend to know what town it's in. What is the name of the town it's in?
It's in Minneapolis.
Okay, it's in Minneapolis. I've been in Minneapolis. Then that's fine. I couldn't have even told you that.
How bad would it be if they're not Minneapolis and I confidently said that?
Yeah.
Let's hope.
And then Maryland, there's no way I'm going to Rutgers.
I thought you would take Rutgers.
No, there's no way I'm going to Rutgers. And I'm a New Jersey guy, and there's no way I'm going to Rutgers. And I got to be honest, there's no way I'm going to College Park. So I'm going with Purdue.
Dude, you're smart. I mean, because I was going to take Purdue to combat the Northwestern academics. Yep. Guys, Purdue basketball program is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a great basketball program.
Yep.
That's not a bad pick. So do I have the only 2 left? Or no?
Yeah, Maryland and Rutgers.
How am I getting the last 2? Oh, because you're snaking it.
Is there any one that you would take over the other?
We're missing somebody.
I don't think we are.
Why is it uneven?
I don't know. Who could we possibly be forgetting?
Yeah, we're missing somebody. Or I just didn't write it down. But we'll figure it out.
All right, so Maryland or Rutgers, though, if you're taking one, who are you taking?
Maryland. I mean, better basketball program.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, better basketball program and a chance at football. I am – who are we missing?
Don't know.
Yeah, maybe I just didn't write it down. We're good.
It's okay.
Okay.
So we're moving on to the ACC.
Oh, Ohio State.
We're moving on to the ACC, traditional ACC.
Yep.
I'm going to give my thoughts on the ACC. As we watch the ACC demise here, I have to say, if you prioritize actual college towns, there are some great college towns.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there's not great college.
And there are some absolute stinkers of locations and stinkers of fan bases.
So my notes say immediate off rip, clear bottom 4, clear top 2.
Yep.
And I can't take Tech, neither can you.
Do you have any thoughts on Tech? You've been to Tech.
Yeah,
you didn't go to Virginia Tech.
Guys, Tech is easily my 4th favorite college football program. I've said that.
No, what about the town, though? Like, could you see yourself going to school there?
Well, 100%, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, great atmosphere, great tailgating, great, I would say, bars in town. Mm-hmm. Enough, not overwhelming.
Yes. I wish it was more overwhelming.
I embarrassingly paid way too much money, guys, to get into Tots and skip the line. But everyone's like, Tots. We got there, and it's a mile long.
Yeah. And
I had some money in my pocket. I said, we're getting it.
So real quick, because I'm not going to brag to Tech fans about Tech. What are your gripes? Like, what could be better? College town wise?
Yeah. What could be better? Dude, honestly, nothing. It just, what's upsetting is the level of passion has not matched the success.
I completely
There's not really a gripe against the town.
Yep.
The stadium's great. Guys, do you really want to say this?
Yeah, say it.
You got to stop talking about Enter Sandman as if it's the second coming of Christ. I mean, like, it is like, here's why. Because it was so cool.
Yeah.
But you guys make it impossible to live up to expectation.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, gonna be the greatest thing you've ever experienced in your entire life. I'm like, I don't know.
I'm so glad you brought this. Has never been brought up on this show. And we're going to clip this.
And Ohio State doesn't have any kind of traditional entrance that can even compete at all. We show off fireworks. We're like, let's go play football. Like, it was so cool. I don't want to say I was underwhelmed. It was just really
There's
hard
no way to live up to the expectation.
I mean, it was like,
I mean, we do this all the time. It's like telling a friend of yours that like you need to go get this grilled cheese at this store. It's the best grilled cheese you'll ever have in your life. How good could a grilled cheese be?
correct.
How good could it be?
No, like,
Enter Sandman is unbelievable, but if you just do everyone a favor. If you're driving someone to Virginia Tech for the first time, don't talk about Enter Sandman the entire drive.
because they know about it. Like,
Yeah.
they don't like if you're coming to a game.
Honestly,
know,
if you undersell it, that's almost better.
just be like, hey, entrance is pretty cool.
It's
like,
pretty awesome.
We got to get in there in time to watch it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, I want to get in there.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be like going to like Florida State. I want to see the spear,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna be like, dude, when they plant the spear, your life will change.
Did you see it?
Your life will change.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll say.
Okay.
I love Virginia Tech. I think I want them to be good. I would selfishly love an Ohio State slip up.
Mm-hmm.
Tech 12 seed.
Yep.
At Ohio State.
Yep.
Be awesome. Let's get into it. There's a top 2 and there's a bottom 4.
So this is tough. I'm looking at. I'm just going to tell you what my mind's thinking right now. I'm looking at Clemson. Great success, very similar to Blacksburg. I'm looking at Florida State. Awesome party school, awesome sports across the board. I'm looking at North Carolina. North Carolina is a phenomenal college town. I'm going to go with Clemson, and I'm going to go with Clemson because I love Virginia Tech. I love that the most important thing going on at Virginia Tech and in Blacksburg is the sports. And I love that small college town feel. So I will go with Clemson. I can see if I did not go to Virginia Tech, I could see myself going to Clemson and having a great time.
I appreciate you doing that. You left me my top 2.
Yep.
I'm going to say something crazy that I said to you the other day. And you looked at me like I was crazy. UNC Chapel Hill might be the best college in America. So it might be because Chapel Hill, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball team just got bounced. They're great. Basketball team we know is great. I mean, football is relevant recently every year. Now, they've been a little overrated, right? They can't get people to their games. I know you're saying that. Everything minus football, it might be one of the best institutions in the nation.
So I wasn't acting like you were crazy because hand up, North Carolina rocks. Like powder blue rocks. The town rocks. The degree rocks.
Right.
The nationally relevant basketball program every single year. You're waving the white flag.
Part of one of the best rivalries in college sports.
Without a doubt. So I got to be honest, after sleeping on it, I don't think that's crazy. I think the full experience of North Carolina severely lacks in football.
It does.
And I do think they're soft, but overall experience, like bang for buck, amazing. Like this
is not a football conversation. This is an everything conversation.
It is a fantastic place to go to school.
Like there's only a few schools where you tell people I went to UNC Chapel Hill, they're not going to respect. Like they're going to respect you. Like, oh, dude, you probably had an awesome time.
Mm-hmm.
You probably got a great degree. You probably had some fun at some games.
Yep.
And the colors rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, I would go to go to Florida State first.
Yep.
I think Florida State, guys, I don't know what it is. I think it's one of the best colleges you could go to for weather. I've never been to Tallahassee. I don't know what the campus is like. I know the football team has got history. It's got national titles. It's got NFL players. It's got baseball. Basketball can tend to be relevant. I think all around, as you guys know, I'm taking Florida. I'm taking Florida State. So those are my top 2. I got them both. I appreciate you.
You had the testicular fortitude to include Michigan in your top 2.
Was that testicular fortitude you said?
Yeah.
Testicular. Okay.
You had the testicular fortitude to do that. My first pick of my 2 is I'm going to go with NC State. I think they have a really healthy athletic department. Good baseball, good basketball, good football. They're good around the board.
They're currently one of the best. Name me a better program in sports than NC State.
I completely agree. They're healthy across the board.
At least the big 3.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with NC State. And I really, looking at the rest of the list, I don't think I have another option. I have said ad nauseum, Charlottesville as a city rocks. Charlottesville is awesome. I've never gone to Charlottesville and had a bad time. I think they are incredibly soft. I don't think I would get along with most of the student body. I don't think a lot the way that they think, but they have a beautiful school. They have an awesome degree, And I don't think anybody, if you said I went to the University of Virginia, now people are going to disagree with me that went to Virginia Tech. I came from New Jersey. Nobody from New Jersey, if somebody says I graduated from the University of Virginia, you'd be like, oh, nobody's going to do that.
No, it's great academic.
It's a great academic school.
Especially here in Charlotte, a lot of people went to UVA.
So I will go with UVA. That would be, I mean, look what I'm left with here. Like Louisville, Syracuse.
I want the Tech fans to know.
Like
I had 4 schools above Virginia in my rankings.
Mm-hmm.
You took them.
Yeah.
4 schools.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Virginia. I'm gonna get crushed for that, but that's my pick.
I wouldn't have taken them.
You would have?
I wouldn't have. There's 4 schools before that. There's 4 more schools. I'm saying I would take it before Virginia.
Okay.
One of which that I will take now would be Duke.
Yeah, I would go to. I think I would go to Virginia before I went to Duke.
Here's why. I mean, like you're committing when you go to Duke, especially if you're not an athlete. Could you imagine being the non-athlete at Duke?
No.
That's like I'm going down there to be hated. I'm gonna be hated, but I'm gonna be respected.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the potential Northwestern, Vanderbilt, Stanford, Duke, Ivy League conversation.
So is Virginia, though.
But also, it gets shadowed because it's a bigger school. State school, no. I mean, Duke is like you can't get into that school unless you have some money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Duke. Basketball, we know what it is. Football and baseball both have been kind of fun recently. And again, you're part of that rivalry. And you're in Durham, which is a huge reverse 180 town. Durham's a cool town now. I'm taking Duke. And now I have 3 schools in my tier 3.
Can I just be honest? The rest of the list sucks.
No, there's still 2 more good schools.
I know what the 2 are.
Are you going to take the other one?
Am I up?
No, I have 1.
Yeah.
I'm saying
if you take one, I will take the other.
Okay.
I can almost guarantee it.
I'm going to take
And this is a tough decision between these 2.
Miami.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Miami. I mean, guys, you can tell.
You live on vacation.
I'm a Florida guy. If your girl only knew. I would say they got history. They got swag. Terrible college football setup.
Yeah.
Terrible. They need to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Miami. And it was close. It was close with who you probably should take.
Louisville.
No. You might be forgetting a sneaky. We talked about this one as sneaky. But you're taking Louisville.
I'm taking Louisville. I have no interest in going to school in Louisville. But again, when we talk about athletic departments that are healthy from top to bottom, it's hard to say that for basketball because their basketball programs have been horrible for the last couple of years, ever since they got in trouble with Rick Pitino. It's been a tough transition. They're going to be better. But like 5 years ago, football team competing for BCS,
Teddy Bridgewater and
Lamar
Jackson,
Rick Pitino
and
Lamar
Heisman.
Jackson, like really, really solid across the board.
Fine. It's like literally to mix the Midwest and South.
And then also, look, you're not looking at a lot of teams with a lot of culture left. I'll go with Wake Forest.
That was my pick.
Like Wake Forest. Nobody again. If you go out into the wild, like outside of North Carolina, and you go to like Washington or New York or Boston or South Carolina, you say I went to Wake Forest. Like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like Wake Forest, pretty cool. Yeah. So I will go with Wake. Now I can confidently say this list sucks.
I don't want any of these.
None of them.
I don't want any of
them. None of them.
I'm sorry to people that live in the Northeast. It's not my jam. So because of that, that leaves me with Georgia Tech or Pitt. Well, I get 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Georgia Tech and Pitt. Like,
there's no way I'm going to school in Atlanta. No shot.
But the academics are there again. You get respect for the academics. You can find. I mean, we're gonna sound crazy because some people probably watch you who love Atlanta. Like, hey, it's Atlanta. If you love Atlanta,
not for me.
Not me either.
It's not for me. This is my college application.
I'll take GT and I'll take Pitt because I know it. I'm close to it from the Midwest. Larry Fitzgerald, right? I mean, like,
can I say something? I'm not furious at going to either of these schools, and I'm going to tell you why.
I figured you would love both of these schools.
So if I go to Syracuse, I have a national iconic basketball program.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony, Jim Boeheim, national titles. That's Syracuse. Problem is you're in Syracuse. If I go to Boston College, I don't give a damn about college football. I don't give a damn about college. But I actually don't really care about my school at all, except we have a great degree, and I live in the city of champions.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to go to a lot of Sox games, and I'm probably going to go to a lot of Celtics games. But I feel like you are so disconnected from the fabric that is what makes college athletics awesome, and that's what sucks. So
are the Fighting McCourts going to beat BT this year?
No, I do not think so.
Okay. That's good. That's a good run right there.
So
should we top this off with the Ivies?
This is just for fun.
This is fun.
At first, we were going to do all the group of 5 schools. We'd be here for 2 hours.
We need to wrap this up, I think. So we should end it with the Ivies.
I really want the first pick.
So the Ivies, guys, I personally have 0 criteria for this.
0.
But I have them ranked in order. I know what I want.
Who's first?
I don't know. Who is first? Because
I'll give it to you.
You went,
I don't
you went first. You took Clemson.
I don't think we have the same first pick.
Yeah, we do.
I don't think we do.
So you want me to – you get – it's my turn.
Yes, I know.
Okay, Harvard. I'm taking Harvard. I mean, like, what did you think I was going to take? That's the one that, like, you get the most cred for. Everyone hates it, but you get the most street cred. I'm taking Harvard.
It's just funny that in our last one, Boston College was the last pick, and this one is in the same city.
That has nothing to do. This pick for me has nothing to do with the city.
I know.
I mean, it's not. It's the respect.
I wasn't thinking along these lines until you brought it up to me. I'm gonna go with Cornell. Like Cornell is.
I talked you into my pick.
Cornell is by far like. This is absolutely no disrespect to people that went to Cornell, but Cornell has the most fun and like goofy Ivy League kids. Like if you meet an Ivy League kid that went to any one of these other schools, you're like, oh, this guy's like straight laced, like, you know, probably like does math in his sleep. If you meet a guy from Cornell, you're like, that guy parties and is probably awesome.
Yeah, I think they have.
It's funny they made fun of Andy from The Office because I've never met a Cornell guy like Andy. Every Cornell guy that I've met has
Cornell guys you met.
No, I'm talking about Andy, like from The
Office.
Office.
Have you met a lot of Cornell guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. And I've been like, yo, I could totally see this guy having a blast and fitting in at Tech.
Okay. I like that. I love that part. You're up.
I'm actually pulling up the Ivy League map because I want to see where they are. So with my next pick, I am actually going to go with Yale.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take Yale there to combat.
I have to go with Yale. I think that, you know, I don't love the state of Connecticut, but I feel like Yale carries so much cachet. It's almost like Harvard Junior.
Well, if we're drafting against one another, you have to take Yale to
Yeah.
You couldn't leave me with Yale Harvard.
No.
Like Yale, I think I think it's very similar.
Yeah.
Yale's a good pick there. So for some reason, I feel like Dartmouth has the same kind of swag as Cornell.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why. Like, if you like went to Dartmouth, they'd be like, dude, that's kind of sick. I mean, like, you went to Dartmouth? Like,
yeah.
How can you be like, terrible school? I mean, like, none of these are going to be bad picks.
Yeah.
But I like Dartmouth for that. Like, if I went to, like, the bar with a Dartmouth crew neck on, someone's like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Dartmouth for that. I have no idea where it's at.
It's in New Hampshire or Vermont. It's like kind of in the middle of both of them.
I have 2 in my tier 3 and 2 in my bottom 4. I'm going to take Princeton. Yeah. Princeton carries a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I see Princeton in the tournament more.
I was about to say basketball.
Yeah, I feel like all of these schools have been in because whoever's winning this is going to the tournament. I don't. This stat could be wrong, guys. I feel like I see Princeton in there more.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I'm going to go with Brown, and the reason I'm going to go with Brown is because it's in Rhode Island, and I feel like you'd have a lot of fun there. You're close to Boston. You're close to the water, and like my math here is, I have no interest in going to Columbia at all. I don't want to go to college in Manhattan.
Well, if I did, I'd actually rather go to NYU. I don't know why.
I agree.
I
completely agree. No interest in going to school in Manhattan. And quite frankly, no interest in going in South Jersey.
So you're getting Penn as well?
I have 2 picks.
So do you want Columbia or Penn?
Penn.
That leaves me Columbia?
Yep.
I dominated you there.
I don't think you did. So to wrap this up, by the way, this was fun. No criteria.
0. And guys, if you went to some of these schools and I said something offensive, I am sorry. Not that sorry because I don't know for sure. It wasn't intentional.
And honestly, if you're taking it that seriously, like if somebody talked crazy about Tech, I wouldn't be offended because I was like, I went there. I know it was awesome.
Yeah.
So if you went to like, what's the school that we
A&M,
crushed?
we crushed A&M.
Yeah, we crushed A&M. If you went to A&M or you went to Missouri and you know it was awesome,
we're sorry.
And your feelings are hurt, maybe it wasn't that awesome because you're letting some
And if
guy.
I was in college and you invited me to Missouri, I probably would have had
an
awesome time.
I'd go.
And I probably would have had an awesome time.
Do you want to just throw out a couple? Do you want to just throw out a couple of schools from the group of 5 that you like?
Yeah.
Would go to.
You want to throw out a couple each? I mean, I got a few here that I think I can like. Number 1. I mean, what's your number 1? Do you have a number 1 in mind?
I do,
dude. Like a clear number 1.
Like out of the group of 5, it's pretty obvious. Like my number 1 pick.
Let's say it on. So 1, 2, 3. Say it.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Coastal Carolina. I mean,
Dude.
Great baseball program on the beach, party school.
So I went to the
Like,
I went to
come
the
on.
Kansas Coastal Carolina football game, and the whole time I was there, I was like, why did I not go?
Yeah.
Why didn't I go there?
Mhm.
Because you have the option to go there, and we didn't go there.
They also have blue turf.
Yeah, I mean that's fun. I think Coastal's in there.
Wait. I'm gonna pick now. App State.
Yeah, no.
App State punches up every single year. Great fan base. Boone, North Carolina.
So we're just
beer
rolling
like
through the Sun Belt. I mean, we're just rolling through the Sun Belt. Like JMU. I mean, they're currently on top of the athletic.
divided by a highway.
They're on the athletic top of the world right now, dude.
Tulane.
Yeah, it's fun. That'd be fun.
Tulane. Go to school in New Orleans. Everyone thinks you're smart.
Yeah.
Tulane's up there.
Now here's the thing. I haven't done a ton of location. Like I listed out the Mountain West. They have some sneaky like
The Mountain West.
Hawaii.
The Mountain West rocks. Just to let you know, the Mountain West is Air Force, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Diego State, San Jose State, UNLV, Utah State, Wyoming, Colorado State. None of those schools suck.
I would go
Zero of them.
I would go to Hawaii, UNLV, San Diego State, and Boise State. Just because Boise State, like again, hang out with Boise
I
State.
think
when
you'd
they
go
were
to
good.
Wyoming too.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like I'm not saying I wouldn't, but like I would
Yeah.
probably go to other ones for that. And then guys, I got some respect for some MAC schools. Miami, Ohio.
Because the whole conference is in Ohio.
Miami, Ohio, OU, Akron, Toledo. Dude, honestly, low key, I go to Dayton too.
So you said this and it kind of shocked me. You said Bowling Green sucks.
Yeah, it's like an exit.
Yeah.
Also, my parents went to Marshall. We hate Bowling Green.
Mhm.
But that's kind of where I'm at.
This was out of control. Oh, one that we're forgetting about, Florida Atlantic. I'd go to FAU.
Guys, as you know from my draft, as I know all of you closely watch this and were taking notes,
Mhm.
I'd go to any Florida school.
Yeah.
South Florida, I'd go.
Casey, this was a ton of fun.
This is great.
So expect more ridiculous, not planned off-season content with Casey.
Yeah, that's
Casey,
what I'm
what
good
tech
for.
games are you going to this year?
I think, well, I'm going to Marshall. Probably wearing Marshall gear. I would love to go to Section 5 too, guys. Like, I'm bringing my dad, who's a Marshall grad. Just don't yell at us if we're
Why?
in there wearing Marshall stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to go and
Are you going to come to a tech game and root for Tech?
Yeah,
like
for
Clemson
sure.
weekend or like,
Yeah.
Are you
I'll be
considering-
in Nashville supporting as
Yeah.
you're there. I'll be at the bars watching other
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Ohio State's a 50-point favorite.
What's your advice
On what?
on the Ohio State week one?
Take Akron to cover.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio State's not covering 50
That's
points.
crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So, Casey, it's been a pleasure. We're going to
Appreciate
meet
it,
up with Griffin Parker, who is in town from Memphis.
Yes.
And put in the replies where you would go to school if you didn't go to your favorite school, unless your favorite school.
Thank y'all. I respect Tech a lot. Love it.